It'd be a schus and a protection for all our brothers and sisters that are in harm's way right now, whether they're fighting or whether they're hostage. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should send the Shekhinah, protect them, and get them safely back into their house, to their homes. Let's go jump in it. At the beginning, you want to understand the direction we're taking. Just be patient. We just gonna go into the psukim, but thereafter you will understand the message. It's so loud that you'll never forget it. Share screen. Okay, here we go. We want to have time to go through. I just want to give you just an outlook of what's going on in the few psukim. And it's amazing that the Torah will go in such description and tell us information like this. But I will touch on it, B'ez Hashem, next week. Vayelech misham Yitzhak. So the story is there's a famine in Eretz Yisrael again, and Yitzhak is going to grow. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell him, you cannot go to Mitzrayim. He thought that he was supposed to follow his father's footsteps. And when there was a famine in Eretz Yisrael, Yaakov took Sarah and they went to Mitzrayim. Hashem said, no, you can't go to Mitzrayim. You're going to go to Eretz Pelishtim to grow. And you will see how this connects. It's amazing how this connects with the current events. Vayoshav Yitzchak. So Yitzhak returned. It's not returned here. The truth is, he was able to redo. Vayachper, he dug out as be'erei samayim, the wells, asher chafru bime Avram, that were dug out during the times of Avram, his father, by Satmum Pelishtim, and the Pelishtim filled them up. Acharei Mois Avram, after the death of Avram, Vayikra lahen shemois, and he called them names, kashemois asher kara lahem avi, like his father called them the same name. Really. Look at here, Be'eros is written without a vav. Be'eros Hamay. Do you know people living in the desert? Because in the south of Israel, by the Negev there, by Ashkelon, and below by Gaza, it's a desert. People have wells, which used to be, you could build a city. When you found water, you could build a city around it. And people will fill them. Are they crazy, these people? Who are these Pelishtim? Are they nuts? Avram did a favor. What would they fill them? It goes against their interest. And he called them names that his father, how did he know the names? And you're not going to tell us the names. But you tell us they have names. And why did you call them those names? Do you have to call them a name at all? What's the importance in that? But what's mostly amazing is, look at the first pasuk. If we pay attention, Vayelech misham Yitzchak. So Yitzchak leaves Gerar. Vayichan, and he camped benachal Gerar, on the river of Gerar. So automatically the river is outside the city. We're talking about dumb people. They have a river, which means life. A river used to sustain. It was the most important thing then used to be the river to sustain life. You have water, water for the flocks, water for the individuals, water to wash clothes, and so forth. All the life, goes around water. And you go live in the desert, far from the Nachal, and you, Yitzhak, you're going to be digging out wells. Look at this, the next pasuk. Vayachperu avde Yitzhak banachal. Where did they dig out the wells? In the river. But who needs wells? It's much harder to draw out water from a well than from a river, and flocks can drink directly from the river. Animals can drink directly from the river. You don't have to draw the water out. So why would you dig out wells? If you have a river, it makes no sense. Another difference. Here it's called Avde Yitzchak. Here, before in the pasuk there, Vayashav Yitzchak Vayachper, himself. Well, Yitzchak Avinu, the God El Adoyer, the one who was put on the Mizbeach, will go take a shovel and a spike, and he was going to start digging out wells. You're telling me he had avadim, he had servants, and he's going to do the job himself? So what's these wells of Avram that only Yitzchak could dig, and so forth? So, and you keep on reading, I mean, it's going to be more and more amazing. So they dig in the river and they found water. Oh, let me tell you something. Before you dug in the river, I would have told you that you would find water. Everybody knows the water of the river inside seeps out. Yeah, you dig out around the river anywhere you want, you will find water. What's so amazing about that? Anyway, I'm not going to get to the rest, so let's not waste time on more questioning this. The only question I want to if I'm going to summarize everything into a question, what's so important about what we just read? It looks like meaningless. A story. Yitzchak went and he dug and he was thrown out of the city by Avimelech, and because you became so rich, you became. Rashi brings down, because they used to say that the manure of the donkeys of Yitzchak is more important than the gold and silver. Since Yitzchak came to the city of Gerar, there was no more poor people. Everybody became rich. So why do you jealous him? Because it says Vayikan Uboy Pelishtim. It doesn't say Avimelech. Avimelech told him to go, but then it's the Pelishtim that jealous him. How can you jealous him? How can you harm a man that brought you the bracha? When Avram came, there was the bracha in Gerar. So what you repay Avram, let's say they were needed this wealth for whatever reason. You repay someone like this, Yitzchak comes, you jealous him, and basically Avimelech throws him out of the city. But each one of you, you know that when he's going to leave the city, the bracha is going to go with him, and you're going to remain with nothing. How do you even Laban didn't want to let Yaakov go? Why? Because Nichashti vayvarcheni Hashem biglalecha. I did witchcraft, and it came out that HaKadosh Baruch Hu blessed me because of you. Then don't go. But these guys, the Pelishtim, are crazy. Here, we have a side, tremendous side we're going to go through. Partially, I'm going to go through now. About these Philistines that been a thorn in the eyes of the Bnei Israel since beginning of time. We never finished with them. the day will finish with them will be Mashiach. Why is that? Where is the power from? I'm going to try to touch it today. There's a lot just to explain the side of Grar, the purpose of Yitzhak going down, and what he went to achieve, and how did he deserve to get to the level to achieve, which is going to be the message of today, you know, and the semen of end of times and the times we live right now. That I think I'm not going to have time to go much over all this. So let's go into it right away. The Midrash Tanchuma relates a little story that Yitzhak Avinu, as I said in the beginning of the shir, wanted to go down to Mitzrayim because Masei Avos Siman Labanim. Whatever the forefathers have done, it's a siman. This is the path, and this is what we have to do. So when there's a famine, we go down to Mitzrayim. Hashem tells Yitzchak, Al teret Mitzrayim. Do not go down to Mitzrayim. You oila temima. You're a complete offering. You went on the Mizbeach. How would you desecrate yourself by going to a place like Mitzrayim? Impossible. You can't go. You can't go outside of Eretz Yisrael. He's going to tell him, the Baruch Hu tells Yitzchak, Avram Avinu was born outside of Eretz Yisrael. So, you know, he's not, even though he's connected to Eretz Yisrael after that, but he still has that side that of him that he was born outside. So I'll let him go out. But you were born in Eretz Yisrael. Really, this midrash needs explanation. And Yaakov, was he born in Eretz Yisrael? Yes. Right? He was born there. Did he go to Haran? Did he go down to Mitzrayim? Did Hashem prevent him from going down to Mitzrayim because he was born in Eretz Yisrael? No. So what is HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling Yitzchak? You cannot go down because you were born there. Yosef didn't go down to Mitzrayim. All the brothers, okay, them they were born in Haran, so there is no proof. Binyamin was a proof because he was born right by the limit. Maybe he was not yet at Israel. Who knows? But at least Yaakov Avinu, he's going down. Yaakov Avinu even prayed, Hashem, don't let me go down. No. I said, Hashem, you're going. So you see, that's not the reason. So why is the Midrash here telling us this is the reason? Zohar HaKadosh here explains that when Avram arrived in Gerar, so we have to understand this whole story. Avram goes, and then Yitzchak goes to the same place. Avram digs out wells, Yitzchak digs out wells. What the heck? And who cares? And why did you have to go there and dig out wells? There were no well diggers, I mean, for their own needs. Did you do it for the Philistines? Did you do it for who? Who are you doing it for, Avraham Avinu? So Avraham Avinu said, when he arrived there, he said, you know what? I see there's no Yiras Shamayim, ki en Yiras Elokim b'makom hazeh, v'haraguni al devar ishti. They will kill me because of my wife. Therefore, he said, she is my sister. It was partially true. Sarah was half sister with Avraham Avinu. And it's understandable he said that. Kadosh Baruch Hu, you just said that you didn't let Yitzchak go because he was born in Eretz Israel. He was a oila temima. Oila temima means pure. There was no flaws by Yitzchak Avinu. He was totally complete. So why did he lie? Is lying permitted? Avraham Avinu says, she's my sister. And it was true. But Yitzchak Avinu, you said Achoisihi about Rivka. So, did you lie? Are you that perfect? You have no problem? Didn't he say, Midevar Sheker Tichak? You have to go away from lying. People don't realize how much the mouth creates and destroys in Shamayim. People have no clue. If we had a clue, we'd stay quiet. You know what? We would become mute. We don't want to talk. We don't want to say anything because we know we understand the power in order to be able to break the words. It seems natural. No, it's not natural. It's godly powers. And what we use, which other powers we use. So the second problem I have here now is on the Zohar itself. You come to explain me why Avram and Yitzchak go down to Mitzrayim, but you start by saying that Avram said that there's no Yiras Shamayim in that place, and therefore he called Sarah his sister. So why did Hashem allow Yitzchak to go to Gerar, right? Gerar is not Eretz Israel. What's the difference between going to Gerar or going to Mitzrayim? I mean, Hashem let the Bnei Israel go to Mitzrayim, but when he took them out of Mitzrayim, Ve'lo nacham Elokim derech Eretz Pelishtim. He didn't want, even though it's closer to go to the Kedusha of Eretz Israel, if they had gone through the Eretz Pelishtim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was very careful not to take them through that path. You can see that there's a certain level of tuma in the Pelishtim that Hashem preferred the Jews to be 40 years in the Midbar rather than going through this. So how do you send Yitzchak Avinu, the supposed Oila Temima, to the Pelishtim? You'd rather send him to Eretz Israel, but not to the Pelishtim. Besides, the Ari HaKodesh explains what is Hakam famines. It's not an occurrence. It's not something that it was a big bang in the world and one day there's a famine, one day there is abundance. No, it doesn't work that way. Everything is the name of Hashem. Just to show you, I don't want to spend time because it's a bit out of subject. But it's a good learning curve. If we take Rav, the name of famine, Resh equals, it's when the name Hashem Elohim, these two names create everything. Because Hashem Hu Ha-Elohim, the foundation of the Emunah and the Bitachen is Hashem Hu Ha-Elohim. Elohim is the name, is the Gematria Teva, nature. So when you relate every occurrence, even though it seems natural that Hashem is the actor, is the perpetrator behind it, this is the truth. So when you take these two names, Hashem and Elohim, you put them back to back, then bad things happen. This is called the back of the name Elohim. You write Aleph, Aleph Lamed, then Aleph Lamed Hey, then Aleph Lamed Hey Yud. It's like you can't say it once. Aleph Lamed Hey Yud Mem. This equals 200. And 72 is the back of Yud K Vav K. Yud, Yud K, Yud K Vav, Yud K Vav K equals 72. Rav is when these two names are back to back to each other. Sava equals when they're face to face. Aleph, Lamed, Hey, Yud, Mem. With Yud, K, Vav, K equals 372. Sava. That's what the Ari teaches. When these two names, they control everything. They control famine, they control abundance. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in other words, you triggered all this. You wanted Yitzhak to go to Rav because Rav is with your names. And it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu that puts names facing forward or facing backward. So when the Rav happened, you forced the head of Yitzhak to go down. For what reason? And especially as we mentioned before, see, since it's outside of Eretz Yisrael, and you told him, you can't go to Mitzrayim because you cannot go out of Eretz Yisrael, how did he go there? Yaakov, there's a few midrashim that say that a different way. Yaakov, when came his time, his father told him, go to Haran, to Padan Aram, run away from Esau. He dove into HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, don't agree with my father. Don't allow me, do me what you've done to my grandfather, to my father. Don't allow me to go outside of Eretz Yisrael. Don't. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, no, you need to go. So you see, someone that was born outside of Eretz Yisrael, sometime has to go. So why not? Why Yitzhak was prevented, but as we proved, he was not really prevented, because at the end of the day, he went to Avimelech, he went to Gerar. What is that place where Avram and Yitzhak went? And it's called Gerar. This Gerar, we have wells there, we have a river. Why do I need this in the Torah? Don't you think it would have been more important telling me great thing about Rivka Imenu? She was the Gilgul of Sarah Imenu. The Shechina never moved from her. To the point that the Zohar HaKadosh says, when Avram said, "Eniras Elokim b'makom hazeh," he said he saw the Shechina was not in that place. So he knew that people were perverse in that place. Liars, thieves, whatever you want to call it. And you, Yitzhak Avinu, you don't have a problem going in a place like this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you don't have a problem sending him there. Why are you sending him there? And not only there, he's going to be punished by these people. He's going to bring them wealth and abundance, and he's going to be thrown out of the city. Avimelech tells him, Lech meimanu, leave, and leave now. Yitzhak Avinu was a very rich man. When you say leave now, you have to leave now. Okay, so he leaves. Do you think he was able, even when you move from a house, you can't take everything you own. You're losing quite a bit because there's a lot of tchotchkes that you're going to leave behind because at this moment you're feeling that you're not going to need them, but you don't know. You're going to have to rebuy a lot of the stuff that you left behind. People don't realize that. So Yitzhak Avinu has to leave. Not only he's not in his country, he's not in Eretz Yisrael, but he's being kicked out of his city. In other words, he goes to Galus. He goes to, I forgot how to say Galus in English, but its translation, the word. And this is where we're going to start understanding a message. When a person is facing antagonism, every reason to feel down, things are not going right, and the way it looks like is he got that he got punished. He could have said, why? I'm a tzaddik, I haven't done anything wrong. So the entire approach of Yitzhak Avinu here is going to open us a personal way, a path to understand antagonism in life, what we call problems, what we call punishment, what we call being away, Hashem, No. If you pay attention, you're going to see that only when Yitzhak was kicked out of the city of Gerar, only then was he able to go out and dig the wells of Avraham Avinu. Because obviously he was there for a little while. In that case, why didn't he dig them out beforehand? Why did he have to wait for so long to dig them out? Because obviously we're talking about different type of wells. We're not talking about, even though it says wells of water, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Mekar Mayim Chaim, is the source of fresh water. Torah is Mayim. So we see here that we may not talk about real wealth. And Yitzhak Avinu was only able to reach the level of his father Abraham and dig out the wells only after he was antagonized. And we don't see anywhere in the pasuk that he got angry or he got this. The fact he didn't take. This is exactly what we say in the pasuk every day. Hashem tzevakos. Ashrei Adam b'teyach bach. The Zohar HaKadosh says, whenever we mention the word Ashrei, it means reach the Keser. In other words, when someone has bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not bitachon on the outside, and inside he's bitter and angry. No. We're talking about inside and outside. That's the true Oved Hashem. Someone who has it on the inside and on the outside. I would like to show you something in order to take a different direction than the simple translation. Okay, we in the Nachal Gra. Says the Zohar, I mean, it's in the Riyakadesh, the Ramak brings it down. You know, who doesn't bring it? Nachal is the Rashi Teva, is the first letter of Noitzer Chesed Lo Alaf. The 8th Midah out of the 13 attributes of I was going to say misery, of mercy. The 8th, the one we call Noitzer Chesed Lo Alaf. Lehadlik Ner Chanukah is the Nachal. Who is called the Nachal? The Bina. Why? Because the Bina feeds on the world. She is the 3rd Midah and provides, she is the mother, the upper mother, and provides for all the world. All the Shefa comes from the Bina. You know what's funny here? It's great, with the Nachal. But this equals 603. Equals Bnei Yisrael. Are you telling me now that basically Abraham and Yitzhak went there for some purpose that we're going to have to find out what it is for the Bnei Yisrael, for the continuity of the Am Yisrael, for the continuity till Mashiach, till the Geula? That's the reason they went there to do that. It doesn't look that way. It looks like just a simple story. There was a famine, they went down there because there was food there. There was no famine there. No. Here we see, because you understand yourself, nobody's going to dig out well, especially not Yitzhak Avinu, how intelligent he was, you know, in the river. So the river is, we're talking about the Mazala Kadisha, the saint mazel. It's the mazel of the Bnei Yisrael. We have Noitzer Chesed and Venake, and Noitzer Chesed LaAlafim equals exactly. Now, if we take Be'er, and we learned this already, equals 203. The Gemara Shabbos says, what's in the bear? Everything is talui in the mazel. Which mazel? The mazel of Noitzer Chesed LaAlafim, but we're not talking about horoscopes. Equals Banei Chaye Mezoini. As the Gemara called them, it's exactly that. Let me give you the thing so you can see. Sorry. What happened? Did I turn on my computer? Am I on the share?
Yes.
I don't know what happened. I can't find myself. I had a bug happening on my computer. Okay, I'm going to try to find where I am. Oh, yeah. Sorry for this. Okay, I found the problem. I don't know. I put a magnifier type of thing here, it seems, and okay, I'm back. Okay. So I was here. Neitzer chesed la'alafim equals 603 equals Bnei Yisrael. Now look, it says Vayashav Yitzhak, Yitzhak returned. Vayachpor es be'eros. We add the question here, where is the vav? Let me show you where is the vav. You understand something here? Yitzhak goes to the Nachal, goes to the Bina, which is the Mazala Kadisha, the higher mazel of the Bnei Israel, Neitzer Chesed La'alafim, which basically is the fabric that's going to create the Bnei Israel. He can only go after he receives a slap from Avimelech, a donkey, you know, and but he doesn't go down on himself and anything, and he is able to reach the level. Only then he says he returned. He returned to where? To the level of Abraham Avinu. We say Vayosha because it makes no sense. Vayelech, he left them. He didn't go back to Gra. So what it means he returned? He returned to the midah of Abraham Avinu. And I'll give you the proof. It says Vayoshav. And we don't need the n. This equals 312 equals 12 times Yud Ke Vav Ke. Jeff can explain you what it means. Every month, there's 12 different ways to write the Yud Ke Vav Ke. Every month has a special tziruf. Sometimes it's Yud Ke Vav Ke, Hey Vav, Yud Ke, Hey Yud. So all the combinations are 12. Yitzhak Avinu, after receiving, and there every month of the year has one. And this is the platform on which you want to sit in order to have number 13, which is Neitzer Chesed La'alafim. In other words, Neitzer Chesed La'alafim controls the world. Controls all the 12 horoscopes. We don't call it horoscope, we call it, I forgot how the, anyway. So you control the 12 mazalas, and you're reaching the number 30. What did Avraham Avinu say? And Yiras Elohim, right? And how did that in our language is there's no Yiras Shamayim. Sorry, I'm writing 13 times muzzle. You're reaching only through Yiras Shamayim, you're reaching the Neitzer Chesed La'alafim, the 13th muzzle that controls all the muzzles. And this muzzle, this is the proof that Bnei Israel came from the Bina. Now, what are you doing in these wells? I understand. We have a gematria which equals Bnei Israel to Be'eros exactly as it written in the Pasuk. And if it would be written with a Vav, it would have been 609. But it's not written with a Vav. What are you coming here to teach me? The other, not question, I mean, observation I want to make is based on the a midrash in Shmois, in Parashat Shmois, saying that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he arrived to Midian, he looked for the bear, for the well. Why? He says, because when Avram sent Eliezer, he met Rivka on the bear. When Yaakov went to Haran, he met Rachel on the bear. I want to go to the bear and I want to find my Ziduk. He went there. Who did he find? Who was coming with the flock of Israel? His daughters, Tzipora. He found his Zibur. What is this bear? How does he interfere with the Bnei Israel? And at the same time, also is like the mother figure of the Bnei Israel. The same way the Shechina, says the Ramak in Pardes Rimonim, that you have, first of all, you have two bear, one emptying into another. You have the bear Elyon, the upper bear, which is the Bina, and you have the lower bear, which is the Malchus. So the Bina provides to the Malchus. So now we know one thing, that when is the Bina considered the Be'er Elyon, the upper well, is when the Bina is in the Midah of Nachal. When the Midah in the Midah of a river, because then it's going to feed the water into the well of the Malchus. When is the Bina in the Midah of Nachal? When it's Noitzer Chesed Lo Alof. When it's reaching the 8th Midah, the 8th attribute out of the 13. This, now we have it mathematically proven. From this Midah, the Bina took Neshamis, and like this came out to be the Bnei Israel. Okay, so far I understand. But the part that we need to understand and clarify is, when is the Bina called a well? What is happening? What is the mechanism? And what is the Malchus? The Malchus has so many different names, but every name shows a different attribute and a situation. So I would like to understand, and I would like to know, what is the definition Be'er? I understand what it does. I understand it has powers. Why is it equal to the Bnei Israel? This tells me a lot in terms of the power of the Be'er. When is the Be'er providing? When is the Be'er not providing? In order, how do you turn on the Be'er? How do you turn off the Be'er? Meaning, what did you do wrong that affects the Be'er and it stopped providing water? What do you do right in order to have the Be'er pouring out bracha and Yeshuas on you? It's a very important knowledge to have. In order to understand that, to answer that, we need to understand where Yitzhak went, because the place of Gerar has a story. To I'm not going to have time to tell you the story of Shimshon and the behind of the story of Shimshon, that he had to go there himself and fight those guys. Story starts of Gerar at the time that Chava ate from the fruit and gave it to her husband too. At that point, the upper world shook. Adam Arishon, we have 613 mitzvahs as of Bnei Israel, and we live in this world. Adam Arishon was in Olam HaYetzirah above us, in the Olam Haba there, which is the lowest Olam Haba. Lowest, not lower Olam Haba. And still, he only had one commandment. It didn't take a minute for him, after he's being created, it didn't take a minute for him to transgress. It's mind-boggling. And because it's so mind-boggling, this tells you the churban that he created. So all the nitzoitzos, all the sparkles of Kedusha that fell where? Mostly in Gerar. Why in Gerar? Because this is the place where the Nachash male and Nachash female live. This is the place. In other words, Eretz Pelishtim is in the Bina of the Sitra Achra. In other words, the Ramat explains that these cities, despite, I'll show you in the passage what it says about Abraham Avinu, because you will understand. Vayhi Gvul HaKenani, the Gvul, the frontier of Eretz Canaan, Mitzidon in the north is Sidon, they call it now, which is totally in Syria right now. So all the land to Sidon was Eretz Yisrael, and even further down, because Sidon was part of Eretz Yisrael. Boyacha Gerara, on the other side, in the south, is Gerara, in Gerar, ad Aza, until Aza. Says the Ramak that neither Yehoshua, when they did the Kibush Rishon, they conquered Eretz Canaan for the first time. That's why it's called Kibush, the noun for to conquer the conquisition or whatever it is. So the Kibush Rishon, they did not conquer Gerar, neither Aza. David HaMelech in the second Kivush Sheni, neither conquered these places. Why? It's on the border of Eretz Canaan, so why didn't you conquer them? Because it was not possible. Even Shimshon fell. Why was it not possible? Because they're exactly across from the Bnei Israel. On my right here, you have the Bina of Kedusha, which is the place of the Bnei Israel, which is the Olam Haba HaElyon, the upper Olam Haba. On my left, at the same place, you have Pelishtim. And these Pelishtim, I will not be able to conquer them until Mashiach comes. I'm going to explain everything mathematically here so we can understand. So when we said now I'm going to re-explain. So I gave a high-level definition. Now I'm going to explain and prove deeper. So when Chava ate from the fruit, the nitzoitzos fell, we said, in Gra. What broke? The das of Kedusha. Now, all of a sudden, they used to be able to only think through the way of Kedusha. Now, the mind is shared by good and bad. Bad has a big portion also in the mind. And we see that. If we take das in full, so we write Dalet, Ayin, and Saf. Sorry. This Tav the Kedusha and Tav the Tuma. So here we're talking about Kedusha. This equals to 980. This equals to the midah of the Bnei Israel by Shanim. When we say by Shanim, don't mean that the Shai means the humble. Rachmanim, misericordious, and Goim lechasadim, and they do chesed with others. That's what it is. In other words, to complete the emptiness, the hole that was left by those nitzoitzos that fell, you need to have the real midah of the Ben Israel. Then and because these nitzoitzos were in the das were so important, the Shechina was their trap. And the proof is that if I recopy just this, you know where it is. I remove the word das from it. I'm just staying with the inside to know what's hiding behind the mind of Kedusha. This equals to 496 equals to Malchus. Here we have here in a simple synopsis that the reason why they went to Gra, because of the nitzoitzos that fell there after the chet of, and what did he engender, the fact that they did this chet, is that the Shechina being trapped there. Abraham and Yitzhak go to free the Shechina and return the particles that she is missing because of the chet of Adam and Chava. That's the reason they're going to go. Now we have a whole picture. Now I'm going to prove it. What do we say we call it? Gra. Gra equals 403. Equals Adam Nachash. Because of Adam and the Nachash, the whole reason of Gra, so you can see that in Gra, there was a battle. It's a battlefield for us, for the future of the Bnei Israel. Now we have a certain meter here, and I know I skipped quite a bit, but I want to well, too bad I don't find it. I wanted to show you which meter in the pasuk is. It's pretty clear which meter they went to pick up from the pasuk. I don't find it, sorry. Anyway, so we said we have the Shechina trap there, we don't see. What is called Eretz Pelishtim, right? It's Eretz Pelishtim, means the land where the Philistines live. What is it called, that land? You don't say the land of the Frenchies, you say France. You don't say the land of the Americans, you say the USA, United States of America. So how do we call? So we know from Asyashir that it's called Yoshua Peloshes. It's called Peleshes. Let me put some. That's what it's called. This is, and we said it's the Bina of the Sitra Achra. It's a high, it's a very strong. And the Shechina was trapped there. This equals to 810. It's equal to Shechina HaKadosh. Because we know in the 10 meters, the lowest got the most affected by the chet, the one above a little bit less, the one above a little bit less, but still a lot of affected, and until it stopped by the bina. But the 7 meters, lower meters that rule this world, did get affected by the chet tremendously. And the one that most got affected was the Shechina. And here we know that where the Shechina was anchored, it's because I want to see if I gave you this, if I brought this pasuk here or I didn't bring the. No. I'm going to bring it here. No. Let me copy you the pasuk here and I'll bring it in. Let me just share this again. Where is the pasuk? Pasuk is in page. You see, the difficulty in a pasuk, in one pasuk, answers many questions in other psukim. For instance, this is going to unlock us the whole thing. Vayelech Yitzhak. after there was the famine, the pasuk comes and says, "Vayelech Yitzhak." Yitzhak went. He went from where? From Hebron. He went to Gerar. But the pasuk, look at the language. Vayelech Yitzhak el Avimelech melech Pelishtim. He went to Avimelech, the king of Pelishtim. Yitzhak, did you receive an invitation? What does it mean? Where are you going to Avimelech? You're going to the land there. You're going to Gerar. So he should have said just the pasuk, Vayelech Yitzhak Gerara. Yaakov, it says, Vayelech Harana. We don't need any fluff here. So what is this Avimelech Melech Pelishtim? What does he mean? There's no reason to have him in the pasuk. The answer in all this is, and I'll explain and I'll prove everything. The Bnei Israel were not able to become a nation being freed from the shibud unless they had the sparkles that Abraham and Yitzhak took from Gerar and gave it to them. It would have not been able, number one. Number two, so if we don't go out of Mitzrayim, then we don't receive the Torah 49 days later. Because the Torah won't be given in Mitzrayim. And we're not able to go to Har Sinai. So there's going to be no Torah. And this is what the pasuk is with this extra word, Avimelech Melech Pelishtim. This equals, well, it comes to tell me the maybe I should share the screen again, but we're not going to finish if I go down that path. I just want to, I still want to mention, there are 5 names of avengers, punishers, call it what you want. We say it in the Haggadah. Charonapoi, Evra, Zam, and Tzara. Charonapoi, Evra, Zam, Tzara. These are the 4 top generals of the other side, the left side. And when these guys are going out, nothing saves from their hands. They just kill anyone. Tzaddik, Rasha, it doesn't make any difference. They just kill. Avimelech Melech Pelishtim equals these 4 clippers here. Evra, Bazam, Mishlachas, Malachi Araim. In other words, now, if I would change the Avimelech into what it is, Avimelech Melech Pelishtim equals 1052, exactly like Haran Apoi, Evra, Bazam, Betzara, which equals to 1052. In other words, yes, he didn't receive an invitation. He went to fight with his clippers. Where did he go to? Gerara. Where were they? Gerara. Now, I'm going to show you that Yitzhak never lied. Because how can he fight such a fight? It's only his righteousness that's going to stand for him. He said, Achoisihi, she is my sister. Who is your sister? Because Achoisi, Rayasi, Inasi, Samasi, it's full in Tehillim, it's full in Shir HaShirim, that name. Who are we referring to when we say Achoisihi? She is my sister. we refer to the Shekhinah. When Yitzhak Avinu, oh, what proof do I have? It's very simple. Achoisihi equals 441. Kehye times Kehye. When the name in the Bina hits the name of the Malchus, it's always to make a Yeshua. This is the concept of Kehye Asher Kehye. The names will collide, and because of the collision will come out the oil of a Geula. And that's what Yitzhak Avinu went for. He didn't get any invitation. He was not going to the palace of Avimelech. You know, he was just going there in order to bring out the Yeshua, to bring out, and which Yeshua is going to be at the end, ultimately, the Bnei Israel. But if we take Avimelech, Melech Perishtim, also equal to Torah Emes, we said without the work of Avram and Yitzchak, in Gerar, we would have never been able to get the Torah. Why? Because they were guarding it. They knew that because of this, only the Bnei Israel are going to receive the Shefa from the Malchus, and they also want to have it. They don't want to be, you know, left behind. So we see that Bnei Israel were depending of Yitzchak going there and digging out the well. I cannot explain how digging out the wells now here have created the Bnei Israel, how the digging the wells have enabled the giving of the Torah, but this is all totally in this. We see now in the pasuk that even the mitzvahs, by Yeshev Yitzchak Bigrar. Yitzchak Bigrar equals 613. Like Tariq mitzvah is like Moshe Rabbeinu. You can even explain that Moshe Rabbeinu would have not been able to come if he was not for Avram and Yitzchak. Again, how it works, we're going to see next week, how the Be'eros work in order to provide. But we see everything started because Yitzchak was not negative. He was positive even in a time of adversity. And this rewarded him in a tremendously big. Why? Because he reached at that time, with this effort, he reached the level of his father Abraham. And from there, he was able to put one step at a time, created the nation of the Bnei Israel, created for them that they should be receiving the Torah, and so forth. All this a person should know and have bitachon that whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, he does it really for the good. He shouldn't say it with his mouth only, he should feel it inside. And that's the term that Yitzhak Avinu came to show, because what the achievements that a person can achieve, once he gets adversity and he's not falling down on his knees, this raises him to level that is incomprehensible for that. But for Yitzchak Avinu, he was able at that point to create the Bnei Israel and to enable the giving of the Torah. Baruch Adonai Elohim, amen v'amen.